These are the top 5 ways to get to a perfect 850 credit score that will cost you $0 and is 100% free. Everyone believes that the credit reporting agencies are the devil. And listen, they actually are, but they actually truly don't control your credit score. People think that the credit bureaus are the ones that are dropping my credit score. They're the ones, they raise it back up and then they drop it again. They're just there to torture me and punish me. Well, no. The actual fact of the matter is you are the #1 person that controls your credit score. But the problem is nobody on social media has really taught you how to control your credit score. Nobody in schools teach you how to control your credit score. Well, let's be honest, our parents didn't teach us either. In today's episode, I'm gonna break down exactly how you take control of your credit score and how to squeeze out every single point to get you to an 850 credit score. And I'm gonna give you a free chart so it'll actually show you exactly what the score breakdown is for every single category. So you don't wanna miss 1 second of this video because every part is crucial to your success. So let's get into this video because we got a lot of ground to cover. I remember when I used to do phone consultations and talking to people about their credit, people would always say, man, I can't wait to get to an 850, Mike. Can't wait till you get my credit score up there. I'm like, what? Who said that? Do you understand what it takes to get to an 850? And I think that's the biggest problem on social media. Everyone thinks that some credit repair guru is gonna delete some items and then all of a sudden your score is gonna shoot to the moon and you have an 850 and everything's perfect. No, it doesn't work like that. We have to break it down to the basics of your credit score so you can truly understand the factors that make up your credit score and how many points each factor actually contains. Because nobody ever talks about this because, let's be honest, everyone knows how to sell credit cards, but they don't really understand credit and how to break down every single category to explain it to you so you can really take it serious and take control of your credit score. Because the purpose of this video is for you to truly understand how you are going to take control of your credit score. So let's put the slide up on the screen. Now I want you to pause the video and I want you to screenshot this and save this and send it to your friends, send it to your family. I mean, send this video to them also so they can really truly understand, because this chart right here should be your Bible moving forward in anything about your credit so you can really fully understand it. Now let's break it down. There are 5 categories that make up your credit score. Now I'm going to break down this video into 5 very important parts that you do not want to miss because each one of these parts affects your credit score. So part 1 is payment history, 192.5 points. Part 2, credit utilization makes up 165 points. Part 3, credit age, 82.5 points. Part 4, credit mix, 55 points. And part 5, inquiries, 55 points total. That gives you a total of 550 points that you can control. Now, you also get a maximum of 300 points just for playing the game of credit. 300 points just because you set up your credit, you started to actually report things. That's exactly where you start. And then once you start to add accounts, you build age, all these other things fall into line. That's what builds up your credit score. But before anyone asks me in the comments, have you ever seen anybody with at least a 300 or slightly above? Yes, I've seen everything under the sun. And when I've seen someone that had like a 350 or 375, they had such a low credit score because their credit profile had no positive accounts. It was just reporting all negative, and that was a huge problem. So it's very rare that you see someone all the way down below that number or right slightly past 300. It's not common, but I have seen it. Now, part 1, let's get into payment history. Payment history, you can get a maximum of 192.5 points. Payment history is the most important thing, and people think it doesn't matter. If you get 1 late payment in the most recent 24 months, it can have the highest impact and be the immediate reason why you get declined for anything and everything. Because payment history tells us you can pay on time. You are a good borrower. You pay on time and you make sure that you're always never going to get a late payment. But people always wonder, well, how bad does a late payment hurt me? I can break it down really quick. Give me 1 second. Let me go get the chart. Payment history can be the #1 thing that drops your credit score. 1 late payment can drop your credit score all the way up to 120 points, depending on the credit profile. Multiple late payments destroy credit profiles, and they are very hard to remove or to reverse because you have 2 options. Either you can try to remove the late payments and delete them completely, or have them reverse the late payments from late to on time. But take a look at this graph right here. At the very bottom where it says payment history, remember, this is directly from FICO, the people that make up your credit score, so I can't even make this up. Look at the graph right there. It says risk. because credit is all about risk. How much of a risk are you to lenders? And that's why a credit score is needed. A credit score determines exactly how high of a risk you are to any lenders if you want to become a borrower. So the more recent late payment you get, the higher of a risk you are to any lender. But looking at the chart, you can see right there, at that first year, you're at the highest risk, like I said earlier. But as it goes down to 24 months, it loses half its weight, but it still has high impact and is still showing that you are a high risk borrower. And that's a huge problem. This is why you never, ever want to get a late payment. Because based on this chart right here, you can see that a late payment hurts you all the way up to 5 years. And another reason why payment history hurts you so much, because it makes up 35% of your credit score. So focus on making sure everything is on auto payment and you never get a late payment. That way you can squeeze out every single point and get the maximum of 192.5 points just in that one category. Now part two, the biggest category of them all, with all the myths that you've probably heard all over social media, credit utilization. Now this is one of the biggest categories that a lot of people do not understand what it means and how it actually affects your credit score. So it is one of the most important ones that you do not want to miss right now. There are two huge credit myths that people talk about with credit utilization. They say credit utilization is how you use your credit cards, that it's reporting that you're using your credit cards. No, it doesn't report that you use your credit cards. That is not true. Always remember this, credit utilization is the balances that are being reported from your credit cards and only your credit cards. Any installment loan does not count towards your utilization. It is strictly only credit cards. If you have a car payment, a mortgage, the only credit you're getting from that is the positive payment history of you making the payments every single time, every month. And the other big myth that I love and actually hate all the time is you can use up to 30% of your credit and it doesn't matter, it doesn't hurt your credit score. That is absolutely a lie. Remember, it doesn't matter what you're using, what matters is what we are reporting to the credit reporting agency. That's what you need to control. The balances that you are going to report from your credit cards. When you learn to control your credit utilization properly, you can get a maximum of 165 points. You can't get any more than that. Remember, each one of these categories cap out. And credit utilization, the balances that are going to be reported gets you a maximum of 165 points, if I could say that. Now, I'm gonna put up a chart right here on the actual utilization breakdown of outstanding debt and exactly the exact points that you're going to get in each category as you increase your balances on your credit cards, and they report those balances. And of course, we bring proof like we always do. This is directly from FICO, the people that make up your credit score. The only thing that matters is your FICO score. So pay attention, outstanding debt. I put a little red block around it so you can target this area. Now take a screenshot of this, pause the video, and save it on your phone and send this to your friends so they can see this also. Anybody that has those crazy myths out there, you can debunk them when you're having a conversation about credit and their minds are gonna be blown, and you can send it to them if you want to. Now, overall utilization on revolving trades. Pay attention to that, what that says. Now, if you have no revolving trades, you're literally just gonna get 30 points and that's it. Now, if you have any revolving trades and you're going to report 1 to 6% utilization, you're going to get 65 points. If you report 0 utilization, you're going to get 55 points. So the whole myth of you have to carry a balance, they want you to report a balance that helps your credit score, is absolutely not true. And this proves it right here, because pay attention, that is a 10-point difference. And there's a little asterisk right next to it. And the asterisk represents, box number represents the maximum points possible minus the actual points you already received. So you could have possibly gotten those points already. You got maybe 3 points, 4 points, 8 points, or the full 10 already. So you're not gonna get any extra points in that different category, as people would like to make you think and believe that you have to carry a balance. Because if you carry a balance, guess what? On your credit cards, you're paying interest. So there's no need to carry balances. The more consistently you report 0 balance, the more points and the higher you're going to achieve, getting closer to that total of 175 points. Now pay attention also, when you go to 7 to 19% utilization, you only get 50 points. You continue to lose more points. You carry 20 to 49% utilization, you're only gonna get 45 points. As you can see, the more debt that you incur and you report higher balances on your credit cards, the more your credit score is going to drop. And this is why people see their credit scores drop when they start to carry big balances and they can't pay off their credit cards in full. This is why it's important. Only use your credit cards for what you know you can afford and what you have in the bank to pay for it immediately, right then and there. If you can't pay that item off right then and there, you have no business putting it on your credit card. Part 3, credit age. This is the big one that everyone ignores, because when you start to work on your credit or you're just building credit, people say, oh, I gotta get more credit cards. I gotta get more credit cards. No, listen, I have a lot of credit cards only because I literally get all the data points to bring you real information. If I were just a regular person out there, I may only have 6 credit cards and that's it. I wouldn't have more than 40 because it's not necessary. It does not build up your credit score. A great example is somebody that has an 850. The majority of people that have 850 credit scores usually only have maybe 2, maybe at the most 5 credit cards. And then they're reporting an auto loan, a mortgage, and that's it. That's all you need. You could literally have maybe 2 credit cards, an auto loan, and a mortgage and have a perfect 850, because credit age can get you a maximum of 82.5 points. And if you consistently add credit to your credit profile, you're reducing your average age of credit. So remember that every time you open a new credit card, you're going to hurt your credit profile, depending on how your credit profile is stacked. Like mine, I have so much credit, it doesn't matter. But at the end of the day, when a lender sees your credit history, they want to see a long length of age of credit. So anything past 5 years is optimal. Anything past 10 years is pretty awesome. And it shows that you have a long history of maintaining your credit in good standing. So there's no need for you to go hunting down more credit or feel that you need more credit. No, you don't. Build with the basics and let your credit age. It's like when you plant a seed, then you gotta water it, you gotta nurture it, you gotta make sure there's no little buggies inside of your plant eating it up. You have to let it grow. You water it, let it grow. You water it, let it grow. Same thing with your credit profile. The longer you leave it open and you're not messing with your credit and you just use the credit that you have, the more your credit score will grow and your age of credit will get you to that 850. Number 4 is credit mix. This is the tough one for a lot of people to understand, because I just said don't get a bunch of credit, but I'm gonna break down what a nice credit mix looks like. You want to have at least 1 or 2 installment loans on your credit profile. That can be a secured loan, that could be a car loan, that could be a home loan, that could be student loans. Any type of installment loan is an installment loan. Now when we get to credit cards, people say, well, what type of credit card should I have? You wanna have the 5 biggest banks on your credit profile if you can, if it's possible. Now, what do I mean by that? You can have an American Express card, a Chase Bank credit card, and then a Discover card. Those are 3 big banks. Then you wanna have a store card that is only specific to a specific, retail store. Like, I'll give you a great example, Victoria's Secret or Express. You can only use that credit card at those retailers and you can't use it anywhere else. Then your next up credit card is going to be a store credit card, but it has a Visa logo. A great example is a TJ Maxx card. You can use that TJ Maxx card anywhere because it has the Visa logo on it. And then the final piece is some type of medical card. I know it sounds crazy. Like the Care credit card is very universal because you can use it for yourself for dental procedures, or you can use it for a pet for any type of veterinary issues you may have with your dog or cat or anything like that. It gives you the flexibility. Those are the 5 different types of credit that you want to have on your credit profile to give you a good mix. But remember, it's not necessary to have all those credit cards, so don't misunderstand me and misconstrue what I'm saying, but I wanna give you a great example of the different types of credit that you can have on your credit profile. And part 5, the 5th and most important part that everyone never pays attention to is inquiries, otherwise known as, they like to call it new credit also. You can get a maximum of 55 points in the category of inquiries or new credit. It's very important to understand you do not want to have more than 1 to 2 hard inquiries in the most recent 24 months. And you're like, that's impossible. No, it's actually not. Because remember what I said earlier? Let your credit age grow. You need to let your credit grow. You shouldn't be seeking credit all the time. It's not necessary. If you are truly in fact seeking credit all the time, that means that you possibly have a financial issue and you're thinking that credit is the answer when in fact money is the answer. Maybe we need to ask for a raise. Maybe we need to manage our money much better. Or maybe this economy just sucks and there's very little that we can do. Just keeping it real, okay? Not trying to be dark here, but it's very important to understand that you do not want to base your life solely on credit, because it can be a pitfall, because you go to your credit as a secondary means and it's really truly not. Remember, you can do all of this for free. You can use credit cards to build your credit up as long as you use it. As an example, you pay your credit card, you pay your actual cell phone with your credit card, you use your credit card to pay your light bill, your internet bill. All of these bills that you normally pay with a debit card, you can use a credit card and replace it and pay it off in full and not pay a dime in interest and grow your credit score easily. The biggest thing that I want you to take away from this video today is to learn to control two important categories on these factors. The two most important ones are payment history and credit utilization, because those two categories make up 65% of your credit score. Controlling both of those, keeping your balances as low as possible, zero should always be the goal, and never get a late payment ever, because if you can do that, everything else will fall in line. Let your credit age, let it build, don't seek a bunch of credit, and you're gonna be perfectly fine. And in 5 to 10 years, you should be between an 800 to an 850. Some people can get there sooner, some people can get there a little bit longer, but the more you add credit to your credit profile, the longer it's gonna take. Bet you nobody ever told you that, right? And a special shout out to all my beasters out there who are using Dispute Beast, the most advanced AI credit repair software ever created to help raise their credit scores and delete negative items from their credit reports. If you're suffering from a low credit score and you need help with your credit, make sure to use Dispute Beast. It is in the video description, and I'm gonna pin it at the top of the comments to help you attack any negative items that are hurting your credit score. I hope you enjoyed this video. We covered a lot on how to properly get yourself to an 850 credit score. And of course, it's not gonna happen overnight, but at least you know the truth now. Now make sure that you watch this next video, because it is about another credit score issue that you may not know about. Now, if you felt that I brought you some value in this video, make sure that you don't forget and subscribe to increase your credit score.